नमः सुन्दरनाथाय तस्मै हालास्य वासिने चतुष्षष्टि विधालीला येनाकारि भुवस्तले श्रीमत्सुन्दरनाथस्य देवीं शफरलोचनां कलये हृदये नित्यं कदम्ब वनवासिनी पूतं स्वतः पूततरं ततो यद्गाङ्गं पयः शङ्करमौळिसङ्गा तत्पातु मातुः प्रणयापराधपादाहते पूततमं ततो नः अपि गद्गदया प्रमोदबाष्पैरपि सारोज्झितया अतिसम्भ्रमेण पितरौ प्रियकप्रियौ सुरेशः स गिरा आनर्च वचः पथ व्यतीतौ. Indra, while trying to get rid of the Brahmahatya papam that he was suffering from, he roams around the entire earth in this third Sarga of Shivaleelarnavam. We start off with that. So he roams around all of this world and he goes to whatever tirtham that he can find. He takes a bath in every place, every punya kshetram. And he does not feel that calm or that peace that Brihaspati says he would feel wherever his papam would go away. So when he comes to this Kadambavanam, as soon as he steps into that forest, he gets down from Airavatam, and a lot of Shivaganas come there and tell him that this is the place where Swami Sundareshwara is present and you can go there. So they direct him to the Swayambulingam under the Kadamba tree. And Indra goes there. The moment he goes there and sees the Swayambulingam, he wants to worship him in the entire fashion, conducting a huge utsavam, and he wanted to build a great place for him. So he thought of Vishwakarma, and Vishwakarma was present at that point, and he gave his plan to him. Vishwakarma, being the architect of the Devas, he created a huge, beautiful temple with all the small shrines for all the Parivara Devatas and everybody. He made a beautiful vigraham of Meenakshi, of Devi. Parashakti decided that this is the place where she also wanted to come and give her presence to that vigraham because it was looking so beautiful. And Ambal also decided to grace that vigraham with her presence. Brihaspati saw this and he named her Meenalochana, because she protects the entire world with her eyes. Mahendra, that is Indra, he wanted to, he did Abhishekam to both Shiva, both the Parameshwara, the Lingam, and Meenakshi. After doing Abhishekam, he wanted to do a puja. Now, for doing a puja, usually after Abhishekam and Alankaram and all that, you use Ashtotram and you do the Archana to both the Shivalingam and Meenakshi. Now, he was unable to bring out words because Api Gadgaya Gira Vachaf Patha Vyatitau Priyaka Priyau Pitarau. Priyaka Priyo is Kadamba Priyo. Both of them loved this Kadamba flowers, and that's why they had taken up residence in this Kadamba Vanam. And they were beyond words. Vachaf patha vyatitav. They were beyond words. It was difficult for him to express whatever he feels in words and to express completely also. It is not enough. That is why we have so many different ashtotras and sahasranamarchanas. There are many such compilations because you try as much as possible to completely describe the Devi or the Deva in your own way, and each one has a different perspective. Each one has certain namavalis that come to their mind. If you take Lalita, just for example, you have one Devata here. You can start off with the Lalita Sahasranamam, or you can have Trishati, you can have Mukha Panchashati, which is 500 shlokas. Trishati is 300, Sahasranama is 1000, right? So 1000, then you have 500, you have a 300 Lalita Trishati, then you have Ashtotram 108, you have something smaller with 15 shlokas, like Mantramatrika Pushpamala Astavam. Then you go slower, lower and lower to Bijaksharam. Every letter is Ambal there. Panchashat Varna Rupini. Every letter is a Bijakshara, and even one letter is enough. So the more dilute it is, the longer it is going to take to please her. The more concentrate it is, this is like acid. It's more powerful. So that is why mantropadesham is more powerful than saying stotrams. So stotrams is for everybody, whereas the mantram or bijaksharam is the most powerful thing, and it needs a little bit more of strict adherence to rules and all that. You can have variety of things, still they do not come completely within the range of this speech. So vacha patha vyatitau pitarau, Shiva Shiva, both of them. And so he started using words which were Sara Ujjitaya, which did not have any essence. So even Vedas could not completely describe the Devi and Shiva. Then what to say of Indra, who is only a Deva here? He is after all Devendraha, Tathapi, Tasya, in his words, there were no saram, there was no essence as such, but still there was so much of bhavam in him when he tried to describe. So from here, it starts, Indrastuti starts from this shloka. So first the thing that strikes, because he is Sundareshwara, so the thing that strikes him is that Sundaratvam, Saundaryam. So he first starts off with that Bhuvi Sundaram Aspadam Tavaitat Shivalingam tu Tatopi Sundaram Te Api Sundarameva Sundaranam Abhidanam Vachanamratam Tvatiyam. Very simple words, because the overpowering of that emotion sometimes gives rise to only simplicity. If you think of it, when you are thinking with your brain, you will come up with complicated shlokas. When you are going with emotions, the words will actually be very simple. So Indra, the way he starts, actually even in the Halasya Mahatmyam, I was looking at that. There is a Somasundara Stuti in Halasya Mahatmyam. It's the simplest of shlokas. That is the same stuti that here you have Indra doing it. Sorry, I was trying to get that and got a little confused with the... he starts off with Ekam Brahma Advitiyam Paripurnam Paratparam Iti Yogiyate Vedaihi Tam Vande Soma Sundaram. So the entire shloka, until about 15 shlokas, there are totally only 17 shlokas in that. I will try to put up sometime a chanting of that stotram. It's a very beautiful stotram. It ends with Tam Vande Soma Sundaram. I do a namaskaram to Somasundara, Sundareshwara, and this is that stuti in the Halasya Mahatmya Puranam, which Nilakanta Dikshita has also brought out that essence here. But he starts off with Ekam Brahma iti, that is the Purana style of saying, this is our Kavyam style. So Nilakanta Dikshita starts off by, the first thing that attracts Indra is the Saundaryam. Because even when he saw Ambal, he was just looking at her and he had no words to explain about her beauty. So Bhuvi Sundaram Aspadam Tava Etat. Etat, this place, this Aspadam, Etat Aspadam, Etat Sthanam, Bhuvi, Bhumyam, Sakala Bhuvane Api, Tava etat aspatam sundaram asti. So this is such a beautiful manoharam. It's a very attractive place that has been created by you for yourself on this earth. Bhumyam. So bhuvi sundaram aspadam tava etat Shivalingam tataha api. Te Shivalingam, this lingam, this archavataram that you have is even more beautiful. Tataha api sundaram, kadamba vanadapi, etat sthanad aspadat api sundaram vartate ramaniyam asti. So api sundarameva sundaranam abhidanam. Api is kincha, further, your name. You also have a very beautiful name which has Sundara in it. Sundarameva Sundaranam Abhidanam. Sundaranam Vachanamritam Abhidanam Sundaranam Sundaram Eva. Vachanamritam Vaksudha. The name that you have, Sundaresha iti nama Abhidanam, it is that name is Vachana Amritam. It is like nectar among it's a word which is of nectar. So the actually on the Sundarangra word it's how Sundaramurti Nayanar was addressed by Parameshwara himself. Also, he would say Sundara. He also looked at himself when he was getting married. There was no mirror, right? So in his then Katti now. On his knife, sword, he would look at his reflection and he said Sundara. So from there, Sundaramurti Nayanar came out. It seems that's what they that is the avataram of Sundaramurti Nayanar. So Sundaresha iti abhidanam atra. So vachana twadiyam vachana amritam sundaram eva vachanamritam abhidanam sundaranam sundaram eva. Among all the things that I have listed out here as beautiful, Bhuve Aspadam Sundaram, your beautiful place, and the Shivalingam of yours is also lovely, but your name, which is Vachanamritam, Abhidanam is Nama, your name, which is Vachanamritam, which is nectar in words, is indeed the most beautiful. Sundaranam Sundaram Eva. Among all the lovely things that you can find in this world, it is the most beautiful thing. Very similar, this thing about Vishnu, his Sundarakandam of Ramayana. So in Sundarakandam also, it is called Sundarakanda. Some Chatu Shlokam that you can find online also is Sundare Sundaro Ramaha. In Sundarakandam, Rama is Sundara. Rama is beautiful because the way he would describe Rama, Hanuman describes Rama to Sita, is a very beautiful, very handsome person, right? So Sundare Sundari Katha, the story is also very beautiful. The right from Mahendra mountain where Hanuman starts off his journey to ending, the Sundarakandam, the Katha itself is very beautiful. So Sundare Sundaro Ramaha, Sundare Sundari Katha, Sundare Sundari Sita. Sita is very beautiful in that also. Her portrayal, the ups and downs that she goes through during that Sundarakandam, and the hope that Hanuman gives, the portrayal of that character of Sita in Sundarakandam is also beautiful. Sundare Sundaram Vanam. Ashoka Vanasya Tatra Varnanapi Vartate. Sa Varnanapi Sundari Eva. So Sundare Sundaram Vanam. The Ashoka Vanam where this entire place happened is also a very beautiful place. Sundare Sundaram Kavyam Sundare Sundara Kapihi. Sundare Sundaram Kavyam. The poetry that is there. Katha is the story line, whereas Kavyam is the words and how they come together and how it is. In a literary sense also, Sundarakandam is like a Kavyam. So Sundare, Sundaram Kavyam, Sundare, Sundara Kapihi. Hanuman is also beautiful there. He's our hero of Sundarakandam. Right? So Sundare, Sundaro, Mantraha. Mantraha here is, there are many small pockets that you can find in Sundarakandam which are very powerful. One thing is the Shubha Nimittam. There is that. And then there is this Rama Katha, Rama Janana Katha, which that is the entire Ramayana, the Churkam, the summary of Ramayana, which Hanuman says to Sita. That is also extremely powerful. The entire Sundarakandam is like a mantra. Generally, young kids would, my teacher used to tell me before marriage, if you read Sundarakandam, you'll get good husbands. It's a kind of mantram in the sense, not only for marriage or anything, but any sort of dukkam will go away. So there is one story about an old lady who actually from her young age, all she knew was reading Sundarakandam. So her husband would always come and tell her, you know what, I need something done. So you read Sundarakandam today. So she would just read. And the next day he would come and say, oh, the work is done. So this is some and the kada onnu undu enakku. I'm not sure who that person is. Chattana enakku nyabagam illa. But then yeah, Sundarakandam is also a powerful mantra. Sundare sundaro mantraha sundare kim na sundaram. The beauty is something that is appealing to both the brain and the mind. I don't know how, right? So Tatha Atrapi, the first thing that Indra looks at Parameshwara and Parvati, Meenakshi, and the first thing that strikes to him to say in the form of a stuti is Bhuvi sundaram aspadam tavaitat Shivalingam tu tatopi sundaram te Api sundarameva sundaranam abhidanam vachanambratam tvadiyam. Your word, the name that you have, Sundaresha, is much more beautiful than everything else here. Next is Samase Vishi Mandare Himadro Kaladhauta Chalakandare Pichatvam Viditam tu param na Vishwaparam Kimutatraivam Asi iti Kapi Shanka. There are 3 places where he mentions that he has worshipped Shiva before. Of course, in the earlier shlokas, we saw that Indra has gone to every Tirtha Kshetram in the world and he has served, he has worshipped Shiva in all of those places. But then Anyasthanebhyaha Adrishtam Saundaryam iti. Bhuvi sundaram aspadam iti uktam parantu I have not seen such a beauty in other places also. I don't know about Kailasam. He finishes off with that. He says, Samase Vishi Mandare Himadro. Mandare, in Mandara mountain, Mandara Malai is that mountain where, which was used for Samudra Mathanam, right? So that Mandara mountain, in that mountain also I have worshipped you. So this Mandara mountain is not a mythical mountain or anything. It is present apparently, and maybe it is in a different realm, we don't know. But Mandara mountain was used for Samudra Mathanam. And 1 minute, let me check if I have taken that Purana reference. Yes. In Shiva Puranam, Shiva decides to stay in Mandara mountain because he likes that place. So Mahidhara Varaha, Shriman Mandaraha, Chitrakandaraha, Mahidhara Varaha, the great mountain, greatest among all mountains, which is Mandara mountain. Chitrakandaraha, it has very beautiful different types of caves in it. Daitaha Devadevasya Nivasaha Tapasaha Abhavat Tapo Mahat Kritam Tena Vodhum Swashirasa Shivau Chirena Labdham Tatpada Pankajas Parshajam Sukham. Devadevasya Daitaha Tapasaha Devadevasya Tapasaha Nivasaha Daitaha Abhavat. That Mandara mountain, Chitrakandaraha Mandaraha, it became the Daitaha, it became the most favorite spot, beloved spot for Devadevasya Tapasaha, for the tapas of Devadeva, which is Shiva. So it became the most favorite spot for Shiva to do tapas, maybe after Himachalam or Kailasam. This must have been his next most favorite spot. There is one entire, this Adhyaya 24 has been devoted to how Shiva played there in Mandara mountain. Tapaha Mahat Kritam Tena. Mandara mountain had done a great tapas in order to have both Parameshwara and Parvati Swashirasa Bodhum. He wanted to carry both of them in him on his head. So he did a lot of tapas, Mandara mountain. Chirena labdham tatpada pankajas parshajam sukham. After a long time, he got their the sparsham, the sparsha sukham of their pada தூளி இல்லையா, அதாவது திருவடியினுடைய ஒரு ஒரு ஸ்பர்ஷம் அது கிடைச்சது அவருக்கு ஃபார் மந்திரா மவுண்டன். So this place Samasevishi Mandare. So Mandare Gatva, Mandara Parvatam Gatva, Tatra Mandare Saha Parameshwaram Tatra Asevata. So he Indra worshipped Parameshwara and Parvati in Mandara mountain. Himadrau Samasevishi. Himadrau Api. Even in Himachala. So Himachala, we know after Sati Devi's Agni Pravesha, he went and did tapas there and met Parvati, and that happened in Himachalam. So he had taken Himadri as his place for penance also, Shiva. So Himadrau api, even going to Himachalam, he has worshipped Parameshwara there. So Mandare Himadrau. The next is Kaladhauta Achala Kandhare api. Now Kaladhauta has two meanings. One is Suvarnam, the other is Rajatam. So it means both Tangamalai, Vellimalai. So it can be both also. So now how do we take this? I have taken it as both. One is, if you take it as Suvarna Achalam, then Kaladhauta Achala Kandhare api ityukte, tatra Meru, in the Meru mountain is Suvarna Achalam. So in a cave of Meru mountain also, I have gone there and worshipped you. So that is one thing. The other is, if you take it as Kaladhauta as Rajatam, then it is snow mountain, snow-clad mountain, and a cave inside the snow-clad mountain would be Amarnath. So Amarnath Shivalingam is supposed to be inside the cave. It is inside a cave, and that lingam forms every year. It is a Swayambhu lingam which forms with the snow, right? So Kaladhauta, Rajatam also is snow here. அதனால தான் வெள்ளிமலைங்கிறோம் கைலாசத்துக்கு, because it is snow clad mountains, we call it as Rajata Giri, as Kailasam. So here, whereas you take it as Amarnath, because the next line he says Vishwaparam Param Sreshtham. Param there is Kailasam, which is the it is like Vaikuntham, which is not a physical presence here. It is not the Mount Kailash that you see near Lake Manasarovar, where we all go there. That is a physical representation, like the Shivalingam, which has the Sannidhyam, but there is another Kailasam which is beyond these, which is the in a let's say in a mental plane, or however you want to say, Vindavar Kandile, Kandavar Vindile. We don't know how it is going to be. Like how Vaikuntham is, nobody can explain. In the same manner, Kailasam is also a place where Shivasayujyam happens. So that is of a different plane. That is spoken of in the next line. So Mandare, Himadro, Kaladhauta Achala Kandare api Tvam Samasevishi. Samyak Asevishi. Asevishi is in Lung Lakara, Uttama Purusha Ekavachanam. Okay. So Asevishi, Aham, I served you. Okay. Samasevishi, Viditam tu Param na Vishwaparam. Vishwaparam Param tu na Viditam. Vishwaparam, that which is beyond the Vishwa, beyond the whole earth, or not earth, Vishwam is more like Brahmandam. Vishwesham api param, that which is at the end of the entire Brahmanda. So when you take the Brahmandam as a space, or the universe as a space, something that is as a samudram, let's say it is like a samudram, then the other shore is like Kailasam. So Vishwaparam here is Kailasam, or another meaning is Vishwesham Param. Param ityukte Gantavya Desham, that is the goal. So Sarvaihi yatra Gantavyam tattu Param ityuchyate. So when we stand on one side of the ocean, we think the ocean is endless, but there is something that if we have to cross the ocean, then the other side becomes the goal for us. So Vishwesham Param ityukte Vishwesham Jananam Muktanam Gantavya Desham tu Ekameva Vartate Tattu Param. So Vishwesham Vishwaparam Param tu, that Param, Kailasam, Sarvasreshtham Sthanam, Kailasam, tu na viditam. I don't know about it, because Indra has not gotten Mukti as yet. He is still in that Padavi of Amarendra. He is the king of the Swarga. He is the king of the three worlds. He has not got Mukti here. So he does not know how that Kailasam exists, or that Param, Sreshtham Sthanam, which is beyond everything, or which is the Mukti here. So Vishwaparam Param tu na viditam. I don't know about that. But now he's saying, tatra evamasi iti kapi shanka vartate. So he says, I have a doubt. Are you present there also in this manner, as beautiful as you are here? So this very similar sentiment is there in Bhagavatam also, where Atma Ramastu Munayaha, even though they are Atma Tattvajnani, still they want to come and worship this Sagunam, because there is the you are one with the Atma. So you are Ananda Swarupam, but there is no Drishya Viveka there, right? So you are looking at something and you are experiencing that Anandam. That is something at a level where you become a sakshi for that experience. If you yourself are that experience and you yourself have become that Atmaswarupam, then this rasanatmakam will probably not be there. They still feel like coming and experiencing this Saguna Brahman, because on the I don't know how that feeling would be, you know. That's why they feel muktirapi avashyaki. They don't want even mukti, they only want saguna upasana there. So a lot of people stay in Janalokam and Tapalokam and Satyalokam for that only, for that upasana rasikata. So here too, tatra ityukte vishwapare pare sthane tatra kailase evamasi iti kapi shanka kimu. Are you like this? Iti me manasi shanka vartate. I have a doubt in my mind as to whether you are in such a beautiful manner there in Kailasam. I don't think you are. In other words, he's saying that mukti is also not necessary here, because you cannot enjoy this Sundara, Sundaresha's display here as Sundareshwara in this Linga form, and with Meenakshi also. So that sort of enjoyment, anubhava, will not, I don't think it is there. So he says, Kimu asti? Is it there? Are you present there in Kailasa also in this manner, as beautiful as you are here in front of me? So Samarse Vishi Mandare Himadrau Kaladhau Tachalakandare Tvam Viditam tu param na Vishwaparam Kimu Tatra Evamasi iti kapi shanka. The next one. न मखैर न जपैः न होमदानैः न तपोभिः विविधैश्च लभ्यते यत् तदिदं तव सन्निधान भाग्यं तरुभिः कैरपि भुज्यते निरीहैः. She's feeling very jealous about the trees that are there in Kadambavaram. न मखैः न जपैः न होमदानैः विविधैः च यत् लभ्यते तत् इदं सन्निधान भाग्यं kairapi nirihaihi tarubhihi bhujyate. So a place that cannot be obtained, which is the Sannidhana Bhagyam, this fortune of being in the presence of Sundaresha, this great fortune of your presence, Sannidhana Bhagyam idam. Tava Sannidhanasya Bhagyam iti etat vartate nanu tattu na labhyate. Katham makhaihi na labhyate. It cannot be attained by sacrifices. Yat bhagyam makhaihi na yajnaihi labhyate, na japaihi mantra ucharanaihi na labhyate. You can't get it by mantrocharanam, repeating mantras. Homa danaihi, by offering homa, havya dravyeshu. Homam is devata uddeshena dravyatyagaha eva homam. So homa and danam are two things. One is homa is devata uddeshena dravyatyagaha, where you put some dravyam inside the sacrificial fire with the devata in mind, so that it is with the devata uddeshena. You think about some devata in mind, and then you give that homa havya dravyam into the fire, saying that the fire Agni has to act as a messenger to go and give that devata, so that I can get that phala. So that is homam. Danam is not homa. So homam is devata uddeshena. Danam tu arthijana uddeshena kritam kritaha dravyatyaga. So any dravyam you give to a person who comes and asks for it. So it is for a direct for people. So that is danam, whereas homam is to a devata, you put it in the sacrificial fire. So na homa danaihi, none of these things are going to work. We can't get, even if you do n number of yagas or danam, you're not going to get that presence. Eh? न होमदानैः लभ्यते विविधैः तपोभिः च न लभ्यते विविधैः by doing different types of penance तपोभिः अपि यत् न लभ्यते यद् भाग्यं न प्राप्यते तत् that tava sannidhana bhagyam idam, this fortune of your presence bhagyam kairapi tarubihi, some trees enjoy this, and those trees don't have this desire also. Nirihaihi tarubihi, they nirgata icha yebhyaha, those trees which do not have any wish, they are just standing there. They can't go travel the world and see Antarctica if they want to. So they don't have any desire also. So they've been growing there in one place and standing in that one particular place. So nirihaha, they do not have any icha also. Kairapi tarubihi, some nameless trees are present in this area, in this Kadambavanam, and they are enjoying your presence. So it's one sort of a jealousy, but at the same time, it's the highest form of Vedanta also. Nirihanamishaha. See, he himself, Nirihanam Ishaha. He is a Isha. He is the Lord of all those who do not have any desire. So Nirihaihi Kairapi Tarubihi. Only if you do not have desire, Ragadvesha Rahitasya eva Etadrisha Sannidhana Bhagyam Labdhyate. That also he is mentioning here. Only if you in a Vernun Alanchindrandamna Kadaki Vurdilla. That deep desire also is necessary in a way, but then if you keep on desiring for other things or objects in the world, then you're not going to experience or understand that sannidhanam, Ishvara sannidhanam. Parantu nirihaihi vairagya yuktaihi janaihi eva sannidhana bhagyam anubhuyate. Right? Only those people, this presence is enjoyed by some trees which have no desire at all. In a way, it is like a nindastuti. Ah, correct. I should make a note that it is a nindastuti. He is trying to nindastuti ityukte, you're trying to say, you're trying to abuse, but it ends up being a stuti here. So nirihaihi kairapi tarubihi bujyate ityukte, in a way the trees are only enjoying you. Iti tatra ninda. Tathapi vairagya yuktairev tatra gantum shakyate punya visheshaha avashyakaha. So it is only by people who have completely finished enjoying both their punyam and papam, and they have no other desire, only then can they achieve your presence. That is why Indra had to roam around the entire world and then come here ultimately to this Kadambana. Na makhaihi na japaihi. See, even the simple words can have so much of meaning in them when it comes out of emotion. He is not thinking here. He is trying to say something or the other, but Sara Ujjitaya Gira iti uktam. Even then, there is so much of saram in it. Right? I'm also amazed because it is Nilakanta Dikshita's words which have come out like this. Na makhaihi, na japaihi, na homa danaihi, na tapobihi, vividhaischa labhyate yat, tadidam tava sannidhana bhagyam tarubihi kairapi bhujyate nirihaihi. If you have any questions, I want to stop the class right now. If you have any questions, please raise your hands. நமஸ்தே சொல்லுங்க சார்.
நிந்தா ஸ்துதினா மரங்களுக்கு எந்த விதமான ஒரு பாவமும் இல்ல, அப்படி இருந்தாலும் they are enjoying the presence of ஈஸ்வரன். அதான அர்த்தம்?
ஆமா.
அதே மாதிரி
நிந்தானா இந்த இதுல தமிழ்ல கூட உண்டு, வெசவு வெய்யற மாதிரி வச்சுட்டு உங்களுக்கு வந்து, ஆனா அது வந்து ஸ்துதியா அமையிறது, நிந்தா ஸ்துதிங்கிறது. தட் இஸ் கஸ்தே பாத்தகினஹ. வாட் இஸ் யுவர், அதாவது when you there is the line in Kuvalyanandam is, what is the greatness about Ganga? She takes all these people who have done papam to swargam. ஈவன் தோஸ் புண்ணியம் பண்ணா சொர்க்கம் போறதுங்கிறது உண்டு, பாவம் பண்ணவாள போய் எடுத்துன்னு போறாளேவ அப்படின்னு வந்து திட்டுற மாதிரி இருக்கே தவிர, இட் இஸ் மோர் ஆஸ் அ பிரேஸ் டு ஹர் தட் ஷீ கேன் ஈவன் டேக் தோஸ் ஹூ ஹேவ் டன் த மோஸ்ட் பாவம், ஈவன் தென் தே கேன் டேக் தெம் டு ஸ்வர்க்கம் அப்படின்னு, அந்த மாதிரி.
அந்த மரங்களும் ஏதோ வகையில ஒரு புண்ணியம் பண்ணிருக்கிறதுனாலதான் அங்க இருக்காங்க.
அதுதான்.
அதே மாதிரி நீலகண்ட தீட்சிதர் should be a பிரம்மஞானி இல்லையா? அவருக்கு கைலாயத்துல இருக்கிறதும் தெரியும், பூலோகத்துல இருக்கிறதும் தெரியும் இல்லையா?
எப்படி இப்படி ஒரு வார்த்தை வருது இல்ல, வஞ்ச புகழ்ச்சி. கரெக்ட், எஸ், வஞ்ச புகழ்ச்சி அணி.
இங்க இருக்கிற மாதிரி அங்க நீ இருப்பியான்னு கேக்குறாருன்னா அவருக்கு தெரிஞ்சதுனாலதான் கேட்டிருப்பாரு.
So true. Lalita madam, you have a question? Namaste.
எனக்கு வந்து இன்னைக்கு சுந்தரகாண்டத்தை பத்தி சொன்னேன் இல்லையா, அதுலயும் வந்து ஏகோனத்திர 29வது ஸ்லோகம் தான் இந்த ஸ்லோகமா வருது. தேவி வந்து சுபநிமித்தானி. அது 8 ஸ்லோகம் தான். அந்த ஸ்லோகம் சொன்னதுனால அது வந்து தேவிக்கு வந்து அதுதானே ஒரு இது ஊர்ஜம் கொடுக்கறது இல்லையா, ஒரு அது அதனாலதானே தேவி வந்து தான் வந்து சூசைட் பண்ணிக்கலாங்கிறதே அவளுக்கு இது கொடுக்கறது ஏதோ அவளுக்கு ராமர் சொல்ற மாதிரி தோன்றதாக வந்ததுதானே சுபநிமித்தானி அவளுக்கு எல்லாம் தெரியறதுன்னு வருது. அது சொல்லிட்டு நீங்க சொன்னீங்க சுந்தரகாண்டம் படிச்சானாக்கா நல்லது, மெயினா நம்ம மனசுக்கு சாந்தி கிடைக்கும். நிஜமா இந்த சுந்தரகாண்டம் படிக்க படிக்க நானும் சிஸ்டர் எனக்கும் படிச்சுட்டு இருக்கோம். அது வந்து அதில் உள்ள இதை சொல்லவே முடியாது, அவ்வளவு ஒரு வைப்ரேஷன். எல்லாத்த விட எனக்கு வேணுங்கிறது மனசாந்தி. அது நீங்க சொன்னதுல ரொம்ப எனக்கு இன்னைக்கு ரொம்ப திருப்தியா இருக்கு. சுந்தரகாண்டத்தையும் சொன்னது, அப்புறம் ராமரை பத்தி ஒரு சொன்ன ராமரோட கதை சுந்தரம், ஹனுமான் சுந்தரம், அதெல்லாம் சொன்னதெல்லாம் எவ்வளவு உண்மையான இது இருந்தது. எனக்கு ரொம்ப பாசிட்டிவ். இன்னைக்கு உங்களோட இதை கேட்டதுல ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம். நான் உங்களுக்கு நமஸ்காரம் பண்றேன்.
Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste. Yeah. Again, அந்த நிந்தா ஸ்துதியை பத்தி சொல்றது போது சுந்தரர் வந்து அவருக்கு கண் போயிடுறது இல்லையா, அப்போ அவர் மீளா அடிமை சொல்லிட்டு ஒரு இது பண்றார். வாழ்ந்த போதீரே, நீயே வாழ்ந்துக்கோ அப்படிங்கிறார். என்னோட கண்ணை எடுத்துட்டு நீ, எனக்கு ஒண்ணும் வேண்டாம், நீயே எடுத்துக்கோ, நீயே வாழ்ந்து போதீரே அப்படின்னு பாடிருக்காரு அதுல, அந்த தேவாரத்துல.
பித்தான ஆரம்பிப்பார்ல இப்ப இவர்
சுந்தரோட பித்தாபுரி. ஆமாம்,
அதெல்லாம இதுதானே என்ன வெந்தொண்டரா அவருக்கு பேரு, வெய்யரார் தானே?
வெய்யரார். ஆமா, அதாவது அந்த மறிவார் கொன்றைன்னா சொல்லிட்டு இந்த திருக்கடை ஒரு இதுலயே அது மாதிரிதான், எல்லாம் நீயே வச்சுக்கோ, யாருக்கு வேணும் உன்னோடது அப்படிங்கிறார்.
வெய்யரா மாதிரி வச்சுட்டு நீ எடுத்துரும் எல்லாத்தையும் தானே அர்த்தம், சாயுஜ்யம் கொடுத்துருவும் தானே அர்த்தம்.
எஸ்பெஷலி இந்த மீளா அடிமையில அந்த மாதிரி நீயே வாழ்ந்துக்கோ அப்படிங்கிற ரொம்ப நல்லா இருக்கும் அது. தேங்க்யூ.
ஓகே, சங்கரி மாதிரி சங்கரி மாதிரி
இது சொல்லுவான், போடுறதுதான் வந்து மல்லிகை பூவாக போய் விழுறது அப்படின்னு.
கரெக்ட் கரெக்ட்.
நமஸ்தே மகோதய.
நமஸ்தே நமஸ்தே.
मका यज्ञ होमयोः भेदः कः इति?
अस्ति प्रायः मीमांसाशास्त्रे वर्तते तत्र भेदः, अहं तु न जाने. There are differences. Some things are called homa, like அக்னிஷ்டோமா சொல்லுவோம், அக்னி யஜ்ஞன்னு சொல்ல மாட்டா. whereas அக்னிஷ்டோம சோம யாகம்ங்கிறது சோம ஹோம சொல்ல மாட்டா. So there should be a difference in their own அது பார்லன்ஸ்ல அது எப்படி டிஃபரன்ஸ்னு எனக்கு தெரியல. இஷ்டி அப்படின்னு நிறைய வேர்ட்ஸ் இருக்கு அதுல. சோ ஒவ்வொன்னு ஆமா இட்ஸ் ஒரு கான்டெக்ஸ்ட பொறுத்து என்ன திரவியங்களை உபயோகப்படுத்துறா, இல்ல என்ன தேவதா இருக்கு, என்ன அங்கங்கள் இருக்கு, அவளுக்கு ஒரு வரமுறை இருக்கு இல்லையா, அதுக்கு ஏத்த மாதிரி பேர் there will be differences in the names.
सुन्दरस्य विषये भवत्या यदा उक्तं तदा समानश्लोकः मम मनसि अपि आगतं. सुन्दरे सुन्दरी सीता, सुन्दरे किन्न सुन्दरम् इति. अनन्तरं सुन्दरकाण्डे द्वयोः मेलनं तावत् सुन्दरं भवति. अम्बायाः आञ्जनेयस्य यदा तस्याः संशयः भवति एषः रावणः वा इति, अनन्तरम् आञ्जनेयः बाष्पसहितं वदति, देवी अहं नाहमस्मि यथा देवी, नाहमस्मि तथा देवी यथा माम् अवगच्छसि इति.
अवगच्छसि. It's a beautiful section to just read. எந்த இடத்த வேணாலும் சுந்தரகாண்டத்துல எடுத்து படிக்கலாம், அவ்வளவு அழகா இருக்கும்.
ஜாம்பவான் சண்டை போடுறது, ஜாம்பவான் சண்டை போடுறது கூட அதுக்குள்ள கடைசியில அவருக்கு புரிஞ்சு விடும், யாரா இவ்வளவு நேரம் என்னோட சண்டை போடுறான் அப்படின்னு.
ஆமா ரொம்ப அழகா இருக்கும் அந்த செக்ஷன்ஸ்லாம் அதுல. தேங்க்யூ. நம சுந்தரநாதாய தஸ்மை ஹாலாஸ்ய வாசினே சதுஷ்டி விதாலீலா ஏனாகாரி புவஸ்தலே.